Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. On first down, Teague eluding the pressure right. And his first look is incomplete.
Well, this defense for the Cards, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. Throwing again, Teague. He's got a man, complete.
And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
A big-time play there for New Orleans. 46 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
And he's got his man on the out route.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. It's complete to Turbin. Touchdown, Saints. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Saints put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead.
Lutz good on the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. A quick throw here out to Brown. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. On play action, it's Murray. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. That'd be ideal. Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
They find some open field here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And again, it's Turbin. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Cardinals have got it going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
The Cardinals hit 3-1 here through their first 4 games. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Right back to Dobbins on first. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Murray now to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Williamson. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 23. That's a 3rd down conversion of 24 yards there. Nice play. They fake the handoff. Now Murray.
A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series, because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints are going to have it here just past the 25.
And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
Throwing to start the drive. Teague, he's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got a man, complete. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 66 yards. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first-and-goal situation. Off the RPO, he completes it. Touchdown! From 8 yards out. And the Saints are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Lutz with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. From the gun, Murray. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And they're going to get this up to midfield. That catch for his career is number 731, and that's the number that Calvin Johnson ended with when he stopped his career in 2016.
Yeah, what could have been for him. So maybe now what we'll see is someone else continue to elevate their game and put this number well in his rearview mirror. I think 800, not out of line here.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick.
And the Saints will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Quality coverage that time to slow down what's been the main source of offense against them thus far. Got to find a way to slow down that ball in the air.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw. Teague. Looking left side, and it's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain there of 21 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And some room to work. A nice little juke. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. With his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Saints have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Murray. This one is caught. It's Patton. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 29-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, sometimes that option can get bogged down before the gears really even get into motion, and I think that's what we saw there.
And I think what he saw defensive
touchdown, Cardinals. A great effort there. 31 yards. And the Cardinals are able to make some inroads here to that deficit. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Well, he thought about coming out, but instead he does go down to a knee. And they'll bring the football out to the 25.
Okay, right.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Off play action. T. He sets to fire deep. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 54 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Here's a quick throw right side. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there with his second touchdown here in this first half. As his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Lutz will look to add the extra point. He knocks it through. It's 28-7. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, and this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 15 yards that time, and the Cardinals move the chains.
Well, if they can execute the run-pass option like that, it puts the defense in a really, really tough spot.
The running ability of Kyler Murray makes defensive coordinators and players crazy because essentially now you have an extra running back there. So if he keeps it, you've got a problem. If he hands it inside, you're probably not ready for it because you have all your focus back on number one.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Well, this could be a big turnaround. They get the touchdown here in the final moments of the second quarter. And remember, Charles, they're going to get the ball to start quarter number 3 as well.
So what you're saying is if they take the ball down to start the second half and score again, it could change the entire complexion of this game, couldn't it?
Absolutely.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started.
And with only 4 seconds on the clock, time likely for just one snap of the football.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It'll be the Cardinals who get the ball first. They trail here as we resume action in the third quarter.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Out to his left. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going. Trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Play fake. Murray. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Murray going to throw.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Alontae Taylor. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Tough one there. First drive of the 3rd quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. and he'd be able to take a few extra.
And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Looking to throw. T. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Cardinals have got it, going the other way.
Well, you had an offense working with a comfortable 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, and certainly doesn't feel as comfortable now following the turnover.
Yeah, you're right about that, because now the nerves start to come into play a little bit. You're a little bit jangled. You don't want to give your opponents any avenues to get back into the game. What you'd rather do, put up signs that say, roads closed.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want. But on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
41 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
A good pickup there, a 22. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. He finds his man complete. It's Williamson.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
He finds his man complete. That's Williamson. A lot of work to get away and outside of the pocket, but no actual yardage there on the catch. It's 2nd down.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Here's Murray. Forced out to his left. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Blankenship's kick is good.
And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11.
Well, certainly happy they were able to force the fumble, Charles, but wish they would have gotten in the end zone, only getting 3 points there and still facing the second-half deficit.
And they also will understand it's going to be a whole lot tougher to force another turnover the rest of the game because that offense, they're going to be all about ball security from here on out.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Teague. Wide open receiver complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a first down here. Off the the play fake. Teague, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
Third quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up.
Operating from the gun. Teague, he'll let this go for the end zone.
And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And he comes back with one complete.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Hey, we often talk about defensive ends setting the edge, sometimes even the outside linebackers, but how about here? This is a cornerback essentially setting the edge and finishing off that play for a loss.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown.
So that potentially a turning point here this 3rd quarter. A 2-score lead down to 1 now following the pick 6.
And that had to be the message at halftime for this defense. Delivered and accepted. We need to go out there and make something happen.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Off-play action. Teague. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Cards are going to get the football back as time will run out in this 3rd quarter of play.
1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and he's taken down here by the Saints.
Jalen Phillips, the former first-rounder, getting in there for the sack.
Here comes the Cardinals punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And the fair catch is taken at about the 13-yard line here. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Saints will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Throwing on first down. Teague. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
He'll get this out wide to Singletary.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. 56 yards.
And the Saints are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter.
Lutz with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
Murray's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Those short little routes probably going to be open. The defense, they'll let those happen, especially when they can make an inbounds tackle.
Yeah, where's Coach Madden when you need him? He always talked about taking what the defense gives you, but sometimes you have to know when you have to take more. That was one of those situations.
And going deep for Hill. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I like the fact that he took the shot deep downfield. Even if you don't get the catch, maybe you get a defensive penalty and pick up the yardage that way.
3rd and 2, and here's Murray. And going deep for Hill. And this is taken in at the 5.
And he's going to get this down inside the 5 before he's out of bounds.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Here's Murray. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great effort there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Cardinals have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
So certainly some importance to this one now. After the touchdown, they could get this down to a field goal with a 2-point conversion. It's complete, but he will not get in here. He's stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game. A 5-point game now as here comes the kickoff. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game here in the fourth quarter. Defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at the earliest opportunity? Or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run here with Turbin. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. They'll run again here with Turbin. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. He'll try to run for this with Singletary. And he won't get close. Only a yard, 4th and 3. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. They'll run for it with Turbin. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
He'll take a shot here for Patton. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Paulson Adebo. And the Saints have just about sewn up this football game. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And this one all over but the shouting, you might say. Now, there's one timeout remaining defensively, but probably no real need to use it here.
Yeah, the only time they would use it, strictly for pride.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. They'll run it now with Turbin. And he'll power his way up near the 25.
98 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. So this one a victory here for New Orleans.
Well, Charles, I mean, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb. One side lost this game because they turned the ball over 4 times, and that was just too much for them to overcome.
Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Los Angeles Chargers and the London Black Knights. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. He's at the 40, the 20, and he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown! So a heck of a start to this one. We haven't even gotten settled in already in the end zone on the opening kickoff.
And you know what happens, too? Now you got to translate what that means, because I think for the team that just scored, their defense, I think they'll be more aggressive now. They'll be bolder. They're playing with a lead and an early one and some momentum. So if you're the offensive coordinator on the other side of the field, you'd better be prepared for some heavy pressure coming your way. They're going to try and get another big score and a big one early.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football, all right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing Jones. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
But Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week. To me, you got to understand you cannot win the Super Bowl in October.
A big play there for L.A. 48 yards.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this defense, Charles, really played well in that win a week ago.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long. Step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Now Jones.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd down, Jones. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Sly able to put this one through.
And they are on.